Good day to whoever is watching. My name is Yiki and I'll be identifying the narrative structure in one of the most inspiring films I've ever watched, which is Dead Poets Society. Within the film, I will be highlighting the beginning, inciting incident, turning point, midpoint, lowest point, climax, and finally, the end. In the beginning of Dead Poets Society, the scene opens with an initiation ceremony for the newly enrolled students at Walton Academy. Later on, Mr. Nolan, the stern principal of the school, delivers a speech recalling the 4 pillars of the academy.
Tradition, honor, discipline, excellence.
This emphasis on tradition and conservatism leaves no doubt about the values that Walton seeks to instill in its students. At the same time, we are introduced to the main characters, who are Mr. John Keating, Neil Perry, and Todd Anderson. Overall, the beginning provides viewers a glimpse into the world they inhabit and the expectations that are placed upon them. Moving on, the inciting incident of the film occurs when the students attend their first English class with Mr. John Keating. During this lesson, Mr. Keating introduces the Latin phrase carpe diem, meaning seize the day. He emphasizes the significance of this philosophy by urging his students to pursue their passions and make the most out of their lives. This moment is important because it marks the beginning of Mr. Keating's profound influence on the students, challenging their previously held beliefs and inspiring them to think independently. This shift in their mindset sets the story in motion, as the students will begin to question the rigid expectations imposed by the school and their families. The turning point in the film occurs when Neil discovers Mr. Keating's secret club, also known as the Dead Poets Society, which Keating himself was a part of during his time as a student at the academy. This discovery ignites a desire in the students to rebel against the conformity imposed by the school, encouraging them to embrace their individuality and explore their passions. This moment is pivotal because it signifies a shift in the students' action and attitudes, transforming their acceptance of Walton's strict rules into active defiance and pursuit of personal fulfillment. This newfound sense of freedom and rebellion propels the narrative into a new direction, intensifying the conflicts and challenges the characters face. Halfway through the film, the story reaches the midpoint as the students, inspired by Mr. Keating's classes, actively begin pursuing their passions. This is accentuated by Neil's bold decision to audition for a lead role in a play,
I'm gonna act.
and Knox's newfound courage to chase after a girl.
She is going to be mine.
These actions mark a clear shift from their initial conformity to embracing their individuality. This midpoint is significant because it represents a tangible change in the characters' trajectories, as they move from merely contemplating Keating's teachings to actually implementing them in their own lives. Their decisions to pursue personal dreams highlight their growing confidence and willingness to challenge societal and familial expectations. The film reaches its lowest point when Neil's father discovers his involvement in acting and ruthlessly forbids him from pursuing it.
I don't care if the world comes to an end tomorrow night. You are through with that play.
This triggers a devastating spiral for Neil, who feels trapped by his father's suffocating expectations. Unable to bear the weight of this pressure, Neil tragically takes his own life. This event is the lowest point because it represents the ultimate consequence of the oppressive environment and unmet aspirations, leading to a profound sense of loss and grief amongst the characters. The climax of Dead Poets Society occurs when the school administration places the blame solely on Mr. Keating for Neil's suicide, accusing him of misguidance in his teaching methods.
Mr. Keating responsible for Neil? Is that what they're saying?
Under pressure from the school, the boys are coerced into signing a contract that implicates Mr. Keating, effectively removing his teaching position within the school. This moment represents a dramatic escalation of conflict and highlights the power dynamics at play within the school hierarchy. It is the climax because it marks the peak of tension and confrontation, as the administration's actions force a decisive and irreversible change into the story. This part of the film also underscores the characters' intense struggle between individual freedom and institutional authority. Finally, the end of the film sees Mr. Keating leaving Walton Academy in parallel with Mr. Nolan's recitation of a poetry lesson. This symbolizes the contrast between their teaching methods as well. As Mr. Keating exits, Todd stands on his desk and salutes him, openly defying the administration. Inspired by Todd's bold gesture, other students follow suit. This scene signifies the end because it resolves the primary conflict by showing the lasting impact of Mr. Keating's influence on his students. Despite his forced departure, the students' actions convey a sense of hope and the enduring influence of Keating's philosophy, emphasizing the theme of embracing individualism and seizing the day. That is all for my video essay. Thank you very much.